Hello. Let's see if everything is up. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today we're going to be showcasing some of the latest updates with the latest Swarms updates, Swarms v8.1.0. It's our latest update, and we're going to be showcasing some of the recent updates, improvements, bug fixes, and etc. that we've made to the framework. So yes, very exciting updates as of late. Just allowing some people to come on in. Hello. How's everyone doing? Welcome. All right, so we're gonna get into it pretty soon. Let me know if everyone can see my screen. Yeah, so we're going to be showcasing the Swarms v8.1.0 updates. We showcase a lot of new updates for performance, some new features, and etc. So it's going to be very exciting. First, what is Swarms? So, or who are we? Our mission at Swarms is to provide the infrastructure necessary for the agent economy. We're building the most powerful agentic agent infrastructure tools in the world to help organizations build production-grade agent-native applications. If you want to learn more, you can go to our website, swarms.ai. Now, for the changelog, we have some new features such as our board of directors. We have dynamic context window. We have some new improvements, agent module optimization. We removed some unused things there. We improved the Swarm CLI. We also have some new examples and some new docs, especially around infrastructure and deployment with fast API and cron jobs. And we also added in new support for GPT-5, Sonnet, OSS, and some other new models. We provide new examples for advanced research, council of judges, and we provide some new guides and docs on deployment as well. And we provide a vast array of bug fixes across all modules. So to get started with Swarms, you can basically bring up your terminal and just pip install Swarms. So all you have to do is do pip3 install -U Swarms. And that's it. Now you have Swarms, and you could also use UV. So you could use UV pip install -U Swarms. And then you'd have to do like system or something. Yeah, you'd have to do system, and super fast, super simple. UV is pretty nice. It's super fast, so an extremely fast Python package manager. So yeah, we would recommend using UV when you can. So yeah, that's how you install Swarms, and yeah. So recently we shipped our new board of directors features. So the board of directors is an all-new multi-agent architecture that implements the same collaborative decision-making process as a board of directors. So this architecture provides an alternative to single director patterns by enabling collaborative intelligence through governance. So this is very useful if you wanted to have agentic board of directors or advisors advising a company, an agentic company. And we can even bring up the docs for you now. So the docs will be here in reference documentation. And so the docs are here. So you could define how the agents are working. And you could define like all the chairmans, and you could define their roles and things like that. It is a little bit complicated, so there's a lot of functionality. But yeah, this is one of our newest architectures. So yeah, you should definitely check that out in our docs. It's in the reference documentation section if you're interested. And yeah, we'll be making a structured tutorial just for the board of directors pretty soon. So stay tuned. So this one is going to be very interesting for agent builders. So we recently launched Cloud4 Sonnet support. So you could basically integrate, Sonnet 4. You could integrate any version of, Sonnet or Opus that you want. And this is how easy it is. You just literally change the model name, and you would have Sonnet 4. And we also showcase the dynamic context window in this example. So I could actually go ahead and run this. So this is how it looks. This is how you use Swarms. You make a Python file, then you import from Swarms import agents after you pip install it. You would also run your keys, and yeah. Another thing that you could do now with Swarms is that you can use the Swarm CLI. So you can do something like, oh, I think we have some mix match versions. Yeah. I'll show it soon enough. So yeah, you import your swarms from Swarm import agents, then you initialize the agents, you give it name, description, model name, temperature, max loops, context window, and then you can give it like a bunch of other parameters as well. So yeah, you give it loops, you run it, and then here, this is how you actually run the agent. So you would do agent.run, then you do task equals what are the best top 3 ETFs for gold coverage, and then you would print the output. You could also define the output as you want. So this is the outputs. You could also have it output the entire history as a dictionary or as a string. So it's pretty customizable. But yeah, now we're having some issues because we used UV. So now it's running. If you wanted to see the token stream, you could do streaming equals true, and you would see the token streaming. So we give it a task of what are the best top 3 ETFs for gold coverage. It says GLD, best for large positions, options. IAU, balanced liquidity cost ratio. SGOL, lowest expense ratio, though less liquid. So that's Claude. You could also add streaming here. So you'll see the streaming. Well, yeah, so that's an issue. You can't be zoomed in too much. Otherwise, there'll be issues like that. Yeah, TLD, backed by physical gold. SGO is backed by gold in Switzerland. Yeah, so you could see it stream as well. So Yeah. Something very interesting about how the dynamic context window works is that um, it essentially works by like, okay, so you imagine you have a context window, right? Let's say this context window is 10,000 tokens. Now let's say it's 20,000 tokens. You give it a document, it's 20,000 tokens. The way the dynamics context window works is that it's going to subtract the difference of the tokens in relative to the context window from the beginning. So 10,000 tokens from the beginning of the window will be deleted. It's essentially how like ChatGPT or Claude works. When you give it so much information and the window exceed, when the number of tokens you give it exceeds the window, then it just basically deletes the tokens from the beginning. Um, so yeah, that's essentially what we added in. And it's already automatically enabled. You could turn this off if you wanted. Yeah, so you could turn it off if you want, but we just automatically enabled it. Yeah. So another very, very interesting feature that I think is going to be extremely beneficial for Swarms users is that we have just enabled compatibility with Cloud agents. So now you can basically load agents in Markdown into Swarms. So you basically have the same exact format as Cloud code, and you basically just put the name of the Markdown file, and then you could execute the agents. So all the like every single agent in Markdown made with Claude is now backwards compatible with Swarms and very simple to use, as I will demonstrate momentarily. Uh, let's see. Yeah, so you basically do this. You import from swarms.utils, import load agent Markdown. This is being exported from here. You could also even not even do .utils. You could just do from swarms, import load agent from Markdown. Then you can do agent equals load agent from Markdown, and you load the agent, which is this is the file basically. Um, and we can look for this file. So it's in this example. We're going to bring it to our root directory so we can run it. Then we're going to clean this up and go back. So yeah, now that I have this Markdown file, this is what it looks like. You have a name, description, model name, temperature. You can give it any parameters you wish, and then you just put the file path, and then you just run it. Here you could use the agent, so you load it into your memory, and now you could run it. So you could change this like I have 100K to invest. I want to hedge my bets on the energy companies that will benefit from the AI revolution. Then you do like this. What are the top 4 stocks to invest in? So here we're using GPT-4o, but we could also change that to use Sonnet because Sonnet is nice. Everybody likes Sonnet. So go here, we change that model name, and now this new agent will execute. And so we parse it, we are creating an agent, we created an agent, and now we're going to run that agent on the task that we just mentioned. So given your 100K investment and focus on energy companies benefiting from AI growth, here are four top considerations across different energy segments. Next Era Energy, NEE. It's the largest renewable energy developer in North America. Massive solar wind farms, Stable dividend, strong growth pipeline, Constellation Energy, nuclear power pure play, largest nuclear fleet in the US. 24/7 carbon free load based power critical. Kinder Morgan, natural gas pipeline giant, extensive pipeline network of natural gas transport. Natural gas is the flexible backup power for renewables. Vistrip Corp. Power generation and storage, large scale battery storage and flexible generation. I honestly think I might listen to this portfolio because this this portfolio it sounds pretty good. Not gonna lie. So I'll save that for later. I'm gonna remember that agent's output. So yeah, I mean, you could basically build agents in Markdown, and you could even have Cursor. You can have Cursor like build these Markdown files, and then you just like you import them, and you can actually even load multiple agents. So let's say you have multiple files, you could load multiple files. So you could have something like you can create a list of agents from this. So you can say load agents from Markdown, and then you'd have to give it a list. And yeah, so now you could have multiple agents, and then you could feed these agents into like Swarm, like sequential workflow that takes in a sequential workflow takes in a list of agents. So you see here, say Swarm sequential workflow. You could just natively plug this in, which is super easy and super simple. So yeah, it's super flexible. We have the option for you to load a single file or a list of files. Is very flexible, and yeah, now you can integrate any single agent from Cloud Code very easily into Swarms and very reliably. So yeah, yeah, that's about that. We also have this feature available in the Swarm CLI. So if you look at the CLI, you could also use it there. So yeah, super fun stuff there. Yeah, we encourage everyone to port their agents over from Cloud Code and start using them with Swarms. Then you could customize how they communicate and things of that nature. And so the Swarm CLI updates, a very important feature that we shipped recently is the ability to check your environment. So we had some users that were confused about checking their environment. So we shipped this feature that enables users to basically check their environment configuration to see if they can run Swarm successfully. So the latest release introduces new features to the Swarm CLI, which you can easily activate by using your terminal. We shipped a new feature called Setup Check, which checks your environment for all necessary configurations and tells you how to improve your environment. For example, if I run Swarm's setup-check, we'll see here that we have a list of checks. So it checks our Python version, checks Swarm's version 8.1.2. It checks our API keys. It's as of right now checking for OpenAI, so that's why it's saying I don't have them, but I do. It also checks dependencies. It checks the environment file, so it detects that there is a .env. I don't know why it's saying that no API keys are detected. But yeah, so we have workspace directory, which checks to see the workspace directory, which is required to run Swarms. It's basically a folder where all the agent configurations or any artifacts can be distributed to. So yeah, that's the Swarm CLI update feature. It's pretty simple. You just put Swarms setup-check. And then we also have a couple of other features coming as well to the CLI, such as the ability to run agents from the CLI, the ability to build agents in the CLI, the ability to autonomously generate new MCP servers from the API. There's going to be a lot of very interesting and useful functionality coming to the CLI pretty soon. So Yeah, stay in tune for that. Yeah. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that you get the CLI every time you download Swarm. So if you do pip3 install Swarms, you get the CLI when you download Swarms. So yeah, no need to worry. Um, oh, so some new documentation. We shared lots of new docs, mostly around deployment solution. So deploying agents through APIs, deploying agents through cron jobs, CLI reference, agent loader documentation, and more. So yeah, I will show you that in a minute. I just want to see if there's any comments or anything. So let us know if you have any questions or any inquiries. Nice. All right, let's get back to business. Yeah, so let's get started with these docs. So the docs, if you scroll down, if you go to docs.swarms.world, you go to the front page here. If you scroll down slightly, you'll see some new docs, which we call utilities. Here, there is the Swarm CLI reference, so you could see basically like all the documentation, all the arguments, everything for the CLI. So you could run agents, you could build auto swarm, you could load agents from Markdown, you can create single agents, and you could do so much. So if you're interested in the CLI, you should definitely check this out. Another new file of documentation is the agent loader. So we added in documentation to help you load your agents. So there you could find like how to load a single agent or how to load multiple agents concurrently, and a vast array of some other documentation on like what parameters are allowed and things of that nature. Yeah, so this is what we were talking about earlier. The ability to like load multiple agents into a multi-agent structure. So yeah. Um, oh yes, for the deployment solution. So we've added new docs on deployment solutions because we've been getting lots of requests on how exactly do you deploy the agents. So as of right now, there's only two ways of doing this. There's only two ways of, actually three ways of deploying agents. Um, One of them is through Fast API or Ubicoin. So you would have to make an API for your agent. That's like number one. This is what most people do when they build an app, because it's basically it's a server, so it'll listen for any requests. And cron jobs, which are the ability to recurringly activate an agent over time. So every 10 minutes, every hour, every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes. And you can essentially choose how you want the agents to execute. So yeah, that's pretty customizable. Those are two ways of doing it. You can also just talk with the agent in the terminal, but that's not really deployment. So this is for more like if you wanted to build like an app. So yeah, we have this overview documentation. Um, we also have some documentation on how to build a fast API with an agent. So yeah, you should definitely check this out. And if you're interested on like building an API for your agents. Once you have an API or once you have a cron job, then you could just put that in a Docker, Docker container or put it in Kubernetes and deploy it on your own premise or servers. Um, so yeah, that's kind of like an overview of some new documentation and examples. We fixed a lot of issues over the past 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. We fixed this bug with like council of judges. We fixed another bug with structures and like configurations for the board of directors. We fixed this bug of unclear handling of LLM arguments, tools list dictionary, and some other parameters in the agent.py file. We also fixed some issues with Azure OpenAI with some base URL. And yeah, so if you're interested in all the issues that we fixed, you can go to Swarm's GitHub and you could check the issues that were closed. But yeah, we fixed a lot of issues in this past cycle. So yes. And now coming soon, so we have lots of new features coming soon. We're going to be severely improving the CLI, so stay tuned for the CLI. It's going to get a lot better. We're also going to be providing some new multi-agent architectures, which we can't really talk about now. We're going to also be adding in more simulation. So we created an entire simulations folder within the main Swarms framework. It's currently where the Senator Assembly is located. So we'll be adding more simulations there that we think are important and potentially impactful. Then we're also adding in like more low-level optimization with Rust packages and just optimizing things to be significantly faster, as Python is very slow, as some of you know. We're also adding, much better docs, improving the docs 24/7, and also adding in new examples. And we're also, of course, fixing issues 24/7 around the clock. If you'd like to assist us, we welcome all contributors. Join the Swarms movement, and let's build the best agent framework ever of all time. And if you're a developer and you would like to contribute, you can go to our GitHub and check out some of the issues or some new features that you would like to implement. We welcome all contributors, so you're definitely welcome. And finally, just want to say thank you. Thanks for joining the All New Swarms update. We showcase some new features, improvements, new docs, and bug fixes. And this past couple of weeks was very fun. And the new cycle coming on September 1st and the new update coming on September 1st will be much, much bigger. And we think it's going to be very, very important for our users. So thank you for everyone that joined us on this call today. If you would want to find this call for later, you can this live stream, then you can go to YouTube and you can find my YouTube. Currently live streaming now, so you could find the recording of this here for future reference. So yeah, if anybody wants to rewatch this stream. And also, yeah, one last thing. If you're a developer and you use GitHub, please fork and share the Swarms GitHub. It's the best way to support us. Supporting us on GitHub is extremely important because it allows us to reach other developers and other users. So please us. Please, share the repo on Twitter, share the repo on Hacker News, or just share the repo everywhere if you can. It helps us out a lot. So it's very, very appreciated. And yeah, so support it if you can, and it would be very, very much appreciated. And before we close this off, I just want to show some new links. So yeah, help support Swarms by following us on social media, starting at GitHub repositories, and sharing the word with friends. You can find our GitHub at kaigoma/swarms on GitHub. You can go to our website, swarms.ai. You can find our docs at docs.swarms.world. Our Twitter is swarms_corp, and our Discord link is also on our website. All these links are in our website, so if you want to join our Discord, go to our website. If you want to find the GitHub, also go to the website, and it would be much easier to access. So, yeah, we hope you enjoyed this update live stream. Things are going amazing. We're getting lots of new users, and the technical capacity of the framework is growing every single day. And it's been very fun, and we're looking for the next update coming very soon. Until then, we'll be, making updates and also providing some new guides and examples. So if you're interested in learning about swarms and how to use swarms, then go to our blog, also on our website, and you can learn how to use swarms. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you everyone for joining. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything of that nature, let us know and we'll get back to you. Yep. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining, and look forward for the next Swarms live stream, which will be coming very soon. And again, thank you for coming and supporting us. So, yeah, talk very soon. Thank you so much.